Still a better love story than? Chapter 4? We're in Chapter 4. April 1867. Oh! Hey, look, Okita! Cherry blossoms have bloomed. They're magnificent, look! The seasons changed, and spring came. Kyoto was filled with the cherry blossoms, and the whole city took on a festive atmosphere. Surrounded by the gentle cheer of spring, my footsteps felt somehow lighter. Well, I'm glad we moved on from our last encounter. It's getting warmer out, and it finally looks like a nice day, so I get that you're all giddy and stuff, but it'd be nice if you acted with a little more decency right now. I turned around to look at my surroundings. The townsmen were looking at me dubiously as I expressed my excitement over the weather. Okay, I'll be careful. Maybe I was spacing out because things had quieted down a bit, and I let my guard down. Hey, Okita. In that narrow alleyway over there, there seems to be a few Ronin that saw us and snuck away. Don't waste your energy on them. They're small potatoes. Really? If they were Imperial Nationalist guys, then they wouldn't just run off like that. They'd be more confident. The guys who take off like that when we show up are almost always just small-time punks. I see. But honestly, I don't think there are any Ronin left in Kyoto with the balls to start something with us. The Shinsengumi's gotten pretty famous around Kyoto, hasn't it? That uniform stands out a lot, too. Well, could be infamous depending on who you ask. When the men wore their uniforms, people seemed to notice them at first glance, which at first probably seemed like a good thing, but their uniform had become a symbol. But there was some argument among the Shinsengumi about if they should adopt a new one. Some people, such as Ito, felt that the uniform should be changed because it wasn't fashionable. I think it's a lovely blue. Is Ito back from the Imperial territories yet? Yeah, I think so. Can't say I'd have minded if he just stayed out there, though. Aww. Don't be like that. He went to go recruit some of his friends and acquaintances, right? That's what he says, but I gotta wonder how far he really went. I didn't hear the details, but I heard he went to more places than he originally planned. If he put in all that effort, then he must really care about the Shinsengumi, right? That's what you think. Am I wrong? No, not really. He said it in a suggestive way. Kondo's too nice. He should just kill Ito. You really shouldn't, Okita. How could you joke about killing one of your companions? A companion, huh? Huh. He scoffed and fell silent. Ever since he had first arrived, Okita and the rest had never seemed to like Ito much, but when he said it aloud in public, it still surprised me. I glanced around to make sure no one had been paying attention. No one likes Ito. Oh, you! Have you been causing trouble for me in another place? Oh. There, in the crowd. A face I had seen before. I stopped walking. Kaoru? The face that looked back could easily have been mine. There was no way I could have ever mistaken that face. But no sooner than when I spotted her had she disappeared, melting into the crowd. Kaoru! Hey! He made a grab for my arm, but I'd already moved out of his reach. I might get in trouble for it, but if I didn't go quickly, I'd lose her. Why are we... whatever. Sorry, Okita, there's something I have to do! I caught a glimpse of his confused face as I ducked into the crowd. How many times do I have to tell her not to run off without permission? Why can't she look at this from my point of view? Sorry, love you. I ran through the crowd as fast as I could, bobbing and weaving around citizens going about their business, until at last I caught up to her. Shock. You're... She was Kaoru, no mistake. What's the matter? You seem to be out of breath. Sorry. For surprising you, that is. Kaoru, do you remember me? Yes, you were with the Shinsengumi. I remember you. May I ask you something? My, what is it? I knew I had to choose my words carefully when asking her. One of the Shinsengumi saw a girl who looked like me at the Sanjo Ohashi Bridge a while ago. Could that have been you? I don't know. I do go by Sanjo Ohashi fairly often. But if I were there, would that have been a problem? Oh. I was embarrassed for asking her what seemed to be an irrelevant question, but her eyes thinned. Perhaps what you truly wanted to ask me is whether I've been there at night. Am I right? Could it be? If it was an autumn night and you got in the Shinsengumi's way, then you and I are gonna need to have a little talk. I don't want to give away all the details, but it ends with your death. Oh! Okita! I hadn't realized you caught up with me so quickly. Oh, you're Okita from the Shinsengumi. Thank you for helping me the other day. She bowed, but Okita didn't even seem to notice. So, you're gonna answer the question. Were you there that night? Okita wore the same half-smile he always did, but his body was as tight as a bowstring, ready to have his blade in hand at a moment's notice. My death? Please, don't say scary things like that. Lots of people pass by Sanjo Ohashi during the day. At night, though? I don't go near it because of the notice board stuff. I can't believe you suspect me just because my face happens to look like someone else's. She sadly looked down and I rushed to shake my head. Oh, of course. I understand. Sorry for asking something so rude. I guess it really wasn't her. She never outright denied it, though. She said she had a very political answer, like, lots of people pass by. You know? I felt embarrassed for even doubting her for a second, so I apologized. Has anyone ever called you gullible? Right on cue. Man, you're so easy. Just like that, you're going to believe her. Even if she was the culprit, what makes you think she would be like, oh, that's right, I did do it? Well, why did you trust her so easily? Is it because she looks like you? Or because she's a girl? I didn't have an answer. Kaoru then took one step back. Can I go now? I have to be somewhere. Excuse me. Kaoru. She turned and ducked away, disappearing back into the crowd. Had I done the right thing, I wondered, in covering for her? Probably not. I was pondering whether or not I should give chase again when I heard Okita begin to cough. Okita! Are you okay? Okita! Stay back! As I stepped toward him, he threw out a hand and twisted his face upward to glare at me. Can we stop doing this? You've been doing this for years now, by now. I'm fine. So just stay there, okay? It was the sheer force of his personality that stopped me, not just his words. For a little while, he coughed as if his lungs were gonna collapse. Eventually, his coughing slowed, then began to subside. His cough finally ended, and he wiped his sweat and looked up. Okita, is something wrong? Like what? I mean, why don't we find somewhere to rest? You don't look too well. Oh, I was just tired. I mean, you did make me run all the way here. And besides, we're in the middle of a round. We have no time to rest. But No buts. I'm fine. Now, about the girl, Kaoru. Asking her about the thing with the notice board was important. I agree with you. Notice board incident. The Shinsengumi arrested people responsible for removing the Sanjo Ohashi notice board put up by the government. But no, because of how important that is, you shouldn't have run off on your own like that. What if she had been an enemy of ours? What if she had accomplices hidden nearby? Could you have handled it alone? Well, did you even consider that possibility? That she'd planned to lure you here? There's not that many people here. No one would notice if you screamed. It's a great spot for an ambush, you know. You're right. She hadn't tried to attack me, but Okita was right. Next time I might not be so lucky. I could have easily run right into a trap. You need to be more careful, all right? I can take care of you, but without me around, you're just a useless kid. I gripped my fists and looked down. Sorry. I felt bad causing him extra stress, so I apologized and he sighed. Man, I'm not the type to lecture either. Stop being so timid. You can rely on us when you need to. I've gotten pretty used to saving your ass by now. A couple more times isn't going to mean much. He let out a snort of laughter. Oh, Okita. Actually just reminded me. I don't know why that reminded me, but I wanted to look at the warrior record again and see where we are with this boy. 80%? When did the budding change? You're still closed. 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 Okay. And do we have everybody? No, we're missing one boy. Alright. That night, after everyone else had gone to bed, I lay awake thinking about what had happened. I couldn't forget what Okita had said. A useless kid. He was right. Compared to the captains, no. Even compared to the weakest Shinsengumi foot soldier, I was pathetic. I had been lying there, staring at the ceiling. My actions today were no doubt reckless. I mean, if this happened a little while ago, I'm sure I would have been killed, no questions asked. The fact that I got away with just a lecture shows that they're starting to trust me a little more, but I couldn't go on like this. Tomorrow I start working harder. Are we finally gonna learn how to fight properly? But no sooner had I closed my eyes. What the heck? What? There was a crash from the hallway outside my room. I rolled up and out of my bed just as the door exploded into my room. Standing in the hole was one of the Shinsengumi soldiers. Is something wrong? I called out to him, despite being incredibly alert and guarded, but the soldier remained quiet. Did you need something? I would not be nearly this calm. I'd be like, what the hell do you want, and why did you rip a hole in my door? Oh crap. You're a Furry, aren't you? Blood. Huh? I squinted to get a clearer picture. Just then his hair instantly turned white. Welp. Just when we decided we needed to learn how to fight, too. Crap. Blood. I need blood. His eyes were ominously red, and he looked directly at me. He was one of the Furies. Give me blood! To top it off, he was completely mad. Just like the warrior I saw that one night in Kyoto. I had to call for help! I couldn't possibly face a deranged superhuman monster on my own. I inhaled, preparing to call for help. Is this where they're gonna learn that I have the same abilities as the Furies to heal properly, because I'm gonna get, like, impaled in my stomach and not die? No, I couldn't call for help. If I did, then I could risk jeopardizing the Shinsengumi secret about the Furies. That would spell disaster for the Shinsengumi. I had to find another way. The Fury, unfortunately, was not similarly encumbered by doubts. Ah! There we go. This is the time. This is the time. His sword hissed through the air, and I felt the metal of its blade burn into the flesh of my arm. Gah! A sharp pain seared into thought. Into thought? Through? Seared into thought from my wound? I don't know. The Fury saw my blood dripping, and his eyes became even more mad. Why did you pick me specifically? This is not fair. What did I do? Ow. Blood sprang from the cut, obviously. I pressed down on it desperately with my free hand, but to no avail. Thick, red liquid spilled between my fingers, fled down my arm and onto the floor. And that's when I would pass out. Yes. Blood. Give me blood. The Fury became increasingly erratic, and he started licking the blood-stained sword. Gross. What if he just, like, gets cured because he licked my blood? That would be weird. He began to creep toward me, his movements odd and jerky like a massive spider. Oh no. My back slammed against the wall. I'm going to die. Just when I prepared myself for death, I suddenly remembered Okita's words from earlier that day. Oh? Stop being so timid. You can rely on us when you need to. Okita, everyone. Someone! Help! Blood! Blood! He was down on his hands and knees, licking my spilt blood off the floor. Ugh. There was no samurai there. It seemed what little humanity he had left him entirely. I used his distraction to gain distance from him. Please, I begged to any god who might be listening, let someone come! Not enough. Not enough! He looked up from the floor. My sleeve was soaked in blood from the cut on my arm. His eyes locked onto it, and I saw them light up with animalistic hunger. His grin was a nightmarish thing. Yes, that! Give me more of your blood! He kicked the floor roughly and came charging at me. No! There was no doubt he was going to kill me. I froze. Hijikata? Get down! Don't look up until I tell you to. I heard a voice from nearby, and I immediately followed the orders and ducked. Yeah! Gah! The Fury seemed to be shocked to see Hijikata coming out of nowhere. The Fury spun to attack Hijikata, but the commander's sword was faster. Ah! His twisted cry reverberated from the room's walls. He writhed in agony, but his wound started to heal immediately. Get over here, now! Yes! As I ran to his side, I heard other footsteps pounding down the hallways. Many steps. You three. You alright, Chizuru? Hey, isn't he... He's... the warrior who had to drink the water of life the other day. He's too far gone. We can't let him live. At some unspoken signal, a chorus of blades slid from their scabbards. Everybody's run to my rescue. I feel so loved. Shin! Sano! Don't screw this up! Who the hell do you think we are, Heisuke? If a captain can't take out a simple soldier, even if he is a Fury, he'd have to resign. Assuming he wasn't dead. They fanned quickly, circling the wounded soldier. There was no escape. No hard feelings. Whoa, who had the whoosh? Was that Shinpachi with the whoosh? Ah! The captains all attacked at once, and the Fury was killed almost instantly. Well, that's good. At least you didn't drag it out. The excitement was over. I don't know if that counts as excitement. Or so I thought. But it hadn't been only the captains who'd heard my cry for help. Oh boy. Someone very calmly. Ugh, why you?
Oh, who's causing such a ruckus at this hour of night?
Ito! Ito rubbed his still sleepy eyes, stepped into the room, and froze.
What's going on here?
Damn it.
I've seen that soldier before. I thought he was sentenced to death the other day for breaking the code.
Shinsengumi regulations that were to be strictly obeyed.
And look at all of this blood. Are you guys responsible for this?
Ito, it's not like that. This is...
What is it not like? Why have our captains cut down one of their own men? Explain this at once. What happened here?
Ito was fuming and screaming, like he always is. I thought you were officially declared dead? Why are you walking into here? My apologies. My lack of discipline is at fault here. Sanan? Seeing Sanan, Ito's eyes grew wide.
Sanan? What are you doing here? You're supposed to be dead.
The captains fell silent. Eventually... I guess we can't keep it a secret any longer. Yukimura, you step out. You can use my room for the night. Aww. I know me being here won't do anything, but I wonder if they'll be alright. Alright is such a word. I don't know if that could be the right word for this situation. Would they be able to explain the situation enough to Ito so that he wouldn't freak out? There was so much to worry about, but Hijikata looked at me sternly. Did you not hear me? I said get out. Okay. I was worried, but I knew there was nothing else I could do, so I left the room. Darn, I was hoping my blood would cure that guy. Not so simple. But everyone's gonna see how quickly I healed from that. Huh? Is it morning already? The birds chirping woke me up. Wow. I love your room. I shot up, thrown off initially because the ceiling was unfamiliar to me. I remembered that Hijikata had told me to stay in his room for the night. And at the same time, the events of last night were beginning to flood into my mind. Did we bleed all over his futon? Because that was incredibly rude of us. The warrior who'd gone mad. The pain of the blade slicing my arm. I touched my right arm wrapped in bandages. I couldn't feel a throbbing pain anymore, so... I took off my bandage to see my injury. Of course it's healed. What had been an ugly open wound the night before was now little more than a faint white line. Wow. In a few days, even that would be gone. I wouldn't need any bandages anymore, but... Well, I guess it's good that the wound is gone, but if anyone sees this... I wrapped myself back up again. It'll be inconvenient to wear, but... I'm going to pretend to still have this injury. I wonder what everyone is doing. I decided I'd head to the common room to see what's going on. They're gonna find out, girl. They ain't stupid. Hello? Oh, you guys. And his first words is, oh, you.
Oh, you.
Ito, Miki, and Sayatown Heisuke. What are you guys doing so early in the morning?
Well, considering what happened last night, I'm not a heavy enough sleeper to have the kind of beauty sleep I'd need with that noise. You were injured, right, Yukimura? How's your injured arm doing?
Well, it's not that bad.
Is that so? Well, I'm glad.
Huh? His mood was almost the polar opposite of the previous night. He seemed now to be in rather high spirits. What happened? Ito, has something happened?
Oh, ho, ho, ho. Would you like to know?
Uh, yes?
I won't tell you, but I suppose you might have an idea, though. Isn't that right, Saito?
What? I cocked an eyebrow at Heisuke and Saito. Yeah, I guess. The moment our eyes met, he looked away. That seemed odd. Not to mention the lack of music is making me worried. Saito? You have no need for this information just now. Unlike his companion, Saito met my gaze straight on, but his eyes were flat and utterly devoid of any emotion. It was as if he put up a wall. What the hell? That's a little cold of you, having that pass for a goodbye, isn't it? Or did you want to get out of here as soon as possible or something? Get out of here?
Saburo, watch your mouth. We'll be on our way now. Good day, Yukimura.
Goodbye, Yukimura. Later. And then they were gone, leaving me wondering just what had happened.
Oh, hey, Yukimura. Are you sure it's alright for you to be up and about already?
I'm fine. I slept really well and I feel a lot better. And my wound doesn't seem to be as deep as it looked.
That's great. I'm sorry about what happened to you, though.
It's alright. Anyways, I ran into Ito on my way here. He was acting very peculiar. Did something happen? Inoue and Shimada looked at one another, both wearing troubled expressions.
Ah, so you saw them, eh?
Both Ito and Miki were behaving rather strangely. And Heisuke and Saito were acting kind of strangely, too. I was starting to feel concerned looking at the two of them for an answer. After some thought, Shimada opened up.
Yeah. Well, Ito and some others are leaving.
What? Leave?
They're going to form a new group, different from the Shinsengumi.
Is that okay?
He had a meeting this morning with the chief and Commander Hijikata. Guardians of the Imperial Tomb?
An organization that guarded the Emperor's tomb. It was formed by Kashitaro Ito after his departure from the Shinsengumi.
Yes. I intend to take some of my comrades and leave. We will be appointed official guardians of the Imperial Mausoleum.
Parted ways with the Shinsengumi due to philosophical differences, prompting him to found the Guardians of the Imperial Tomb. Couldn't you have done this sooner, before last night?
I have been considering such a move for some time now. But after last night's excitement, I didn't think it'd work out anymore. I knew when I joined the Shinsengumi that my imperialism might not be welcome, but I thought we could work past that. I see now that I was mistaken.
Just spit it out, Ito. Basically, you want to split up the Shinsengumi.
Who's the one that has been deceiving me for the past 3 years?
If you insist, then I will do as you ask. You must remember, however, that last night's incident is a result of orders from the shogunate. We cannot allow you to reveal this secret.
Then I propose a deal. Allow me to depart, peacefully, that is. And in turn, I will remain silent. I also wish to bring several of your men with me.
Very well. But anyone you wish to take must agree to leave.
Of course. I will naturally maintain the fiction that we intend to continue to cooperate with one another. A stance that will no doubt benefit both of us.
Cooperation. Fine. Toshi, what do you think?
It's your decision, not mine. Then, Heisuke and Saito. He left the Shinsengumi with Kashitaro Ito to join the Guardians of the Imperial Tomb. He's been different ever since that one mission he had, and I haven't really kept up with Saito. Would he be under Hajime? Left the Shinsengumi along with Kashitaro Ito to join the Guardians of the Imperial Tomb. I'm all sad.
Yes, they are leaving with Ito. I confess I'm rather surprised. I mean, I understand Heisuke since he's known Ito for some time, but I was not expecting it from Saito.
No. Then, would that mean I could never see them again?
Don't worry. Remember what I said? We're going to keep relations amicable between our two organizations.
Kondo. It was kind of him to try and comfort me, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something terrible was going to befall the Shinsengumi and its members.
You aren't going to let the men interact with the guard, though, right?
Shorthand for the Guardians of the Imperial Tomb, who were founded by Ito after leaving the Shinsengumi. Of course not. He gets to leave, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna let him get away with whatever he wants. But is this really okay? Ito and the others leaving, I mean.
Ito and his men leaving isn't a problem. Although I was a little surprised that Heisuke and Saito decided to go with that snake. I would say it was more than a little. But I guess all of this comes from our own faults, and our inability to keep them happy.
From there, the conversation moved to a discussion of politics that was beyond my ability to follow. And what could I have said anyway? The decision had been made, and there was nothing I could have said to change it. I got up quietly and left the common room. I never thought something like this could happen. I looked up to the sky, watching the clouds form in streaks above me, and then lowered my gaze. It seemed like just yesterday that we were all living our normal lives at the compounds. Then, all of a sudden, we've arrived at today, helpless as our troops split amongst themselves. I couldn't wrap my head around it. However, even with all of my confusion, I was especially worried about... Well, the guard would be for Saito and Heisuke, so I had to say the soldiers. What about the feelings of those who were being left behind? I wanted to know how the people in the Shinsengumi felt about Ito and his followers leaving. I decided to ask. What would Okita fall under? I don't think Okita is particularly close with anybody, aside from Kondo, who he admires. He definitely did not like Ito. So, maybe one of the top two. I mean, he is a captain, but I don't think he's super high rank. I mean, I saved. I'm gonna try neutral and see if that works. If I wanted a fair assessment, I needed to talk to a neutral party. At my best guess, that would mean Okita. Oh, hey. Alright, that worked out. He was close to Kondo and Hijikata, of course, but he seemed to stay largely aloof from political disputes. Perhaps he'd be able to give me a rational explanation. Oh, hey, you.
Oh, Yukimura. Were you going somewhere?
Yes, I was on my way to Okita's.
Oh, to Okita, huh? You need something from him.
Yes, I suppose. I wanted to ask him something. Do you know where he is?
I think he's over in the courtyard.
Thanks. I'll go see if I can find him.
Just don't forget you were hurt last night. You can't push yourself too hard.
Yes, I know. Aw, how kind. Just as Yamazaki said, Okita was in the courtyard. He stood, gazing out across the garden. In a way, he looked more like an innocent child than Souji Okita, feared Ronin of Kyoto. Okita? Damn. I didn't even sense your presence until you said something. Must be getting rusty. At this rate, you'll kill me before I kill you. If that were to happen, though, I'd be turning in my grave. Please, don't joke like that. I know you're not feeling well. So I've got a bit of a cough. Doesn't mean anything. Anyway, what did you need? Huh? Well, I don't think you came here to lecture me on my health. You want something. Oh, right. I heard that Ito and some of the men are leaving, so... Did you hear that Saito and Heisuke are going with him too? Yeah. Next time we run into him, we'll probably have to kill each other. He said it so casually that for a moment I was at an utter loss for words. Kill each other? Are you serious? This is Heisuke and Saito we're talking about. Well, if they aren't my enemies, then I probably won't have to kill them. But if they end up fighting the Shinsengumi, they won't be getting any favors from me. But you've been friends for so long. That doesn't matter. I'm the sword of the Shinsengumi. Sword of the Shinsengumi? Yup. Swords don't think. They don't decide whether it's right or wrong to kill someone. When the order is given, you kill, no matter who they are. That's my job. Didn't you know? There wasn't a hint of doubt in his words. I'm sure Okita would be able to kill anyone who opposes him without a bat of an eye. But those thoughts were just too heavy for me. Thank you. All I could do was bow to him and walk away.